Man, they ain't have to do her like that. Mary Brighton is gone, guys. What are we gonna do? That was a cliffhanger. That was emotional. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to WeSibs, West Coast to East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Tonight, of course, we are talking The Nevers, the new show on HBO Max. This is episode 3. This is going to be a review, reaction, breakdown, biggest takeaways, all rolled into one video. So, guys, we already watched the same shows. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell so you don't miss, and let's get into it. So, obviously, right there, oh, that's Primrose. Whoops, wrong slide. Mary Brighton, a.k.a. the Songbird, was killed in this episode. She got shot through. But before we get to that, let's back up a little bit, because Bonfire Annie has now joined the team. So we first saw her getting into a kerfuffle. I guess she's now going against the Beggar King, and True shows up, and so they have their little playful banter. And she ends up joining the team, which is great. I think she's one of the most powerful touched people definitely in the entire show. So it'll be cool to see her as an addition to the team. But she's going to have a target on her back because Malady was betrayed. Remember, she betrayed Malady in the last episode. Malady was about to kill her, and Bonfire Annie just threw a flame ball, I guess is what she calls them. And so that's definitely going to be a problem now for Bonfire Annie. And they need to protect her, okay, because they have an issue with protecting certain people who might have a target on their back. Duh. Anyway, so they pay the price for that. But before we get into, that segues into some stuff. But I just want to mention something really quick. Primrose. We got no Prim in this episode. Definitely a fan favorite. A lot of people have been talking about Prim as a cool character. Definitely one of the most powerful characters in the show. But let's talk about True and Horatio. So Doc Horatio is murdered, and they done did an affair type thing. Him and True, and so that's messing up with his life. Honestly, I don't think it's going to play too much into the story, but it is something to be aware of, as potentially one day his wife will find out, and that will be a source of tension, as where Horatio will have to choose between staying with the Never, staying with the Touched, or losing his wife and his kids. So that's tough. Speaking of Dr. Horatio, he is called upon to heal Malady. So Malady got shot in the last episode, as we all saw. And so she brings on Dr. Horatio because she hears that the Beggar King has a doctor on call. And it's Dr. Horatio with the healing hand. So the Beggar King, it's weird because Horatio doesn't really work for the Beggar King, but I guess because they all work for Lavinia Bidlow, it kind of, intersect in circles and all those things. So he ends up healing Malady, which, by the way, she's doing a fantastic job as an actress. She does Joker. I know this might be a hot take, but I think that naturally, females kind of play a better Joker type role, definitely this actress, she's fantastic. I think Joker works as a girl. It does. And she really is Joker, just in her just pain is pleasure type thing. It's just some sick stuff, some Joker stuff, but it works for her and it works for the character. Now I want to talk about the fact that, those masked people who are working for Lavinia Bidlow, and they've been kidnapping some of the touched people. They took the mask off. She got into a fight with True. True got into a fight with one of those masked scarecrow looking people from like DC or something, and they're hybrids. They're cyborgs. They're part flesh, part robot. He had his jaw was completely missing. Seemed like Penance was able to take quick care of him just by her electro. What would you call that? An electrobrella. And I'm not even going to try with names there. But she was able to shock him and shut him down. And so that worked for her to her advantage, obviously. So we're learning more about Bidlow's secret plan. And what's interesting is, because we're going to obviously get to Mary Brighton and the fact that she died. But spoiler warning, but she was talking to True and saying, I don't really know what your plan is. It seems like you're just, you're trying to pull a Professor X, trying to have a home for gifted youngsters here. But I know you're building some kind of secret team. You have some secret agenda behind the scenes. And so True definitely does have that, but we're all not too clear on that. And so that's something that will be revealed probably in later episodes. But that was giving Mary trouble kind of singing, finding her voice, because she was thinking maybe she doesn't want people to come here. Maybe there's something sinister happening. So before we get to actually what happened, let's talk about Frank Mundy, who had an affair, we come to find, on Mary Brighton with Hugo. And so they've cheated, and that's why I'm assuming that's why Mary doesn't want to marry him. I see what I did there. Anyway, so yeah, so that's an issue that happened, and so there are a lot of affairs going on in this show. Infidelity is not something that you want to do, and it's something that there's a lot of in this show. So then, lastly, obviously, the death of Mary Brighton. So they got the amplifier, which Penance did not like the name of. They set it up in the park, and again, like you've got a high value target out here in this park. But I guess they had nobody watching the perimeter. They were all there for a concert, thought it was going to be yippee-ki-yay. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Hunky-dory, I guess, is close enough. And yeah, she gets shot by Gun Arm Dude. And Gun Arm Dude ends up dying. So that's good. I mean, Frankie ends up avenging his almost wife. But Mary was just gone. And what made it worse is like with every bullet, it was just like even more intense. She got shot the first time and it was like, oh, maybe she could survive. Oh, help her. But like just the music stopped and excuse me, whoa, everything stopped in that moment. And it was tragic. It was tragic to see. But I'll tell you what, it worked because at the end of the episode, Mary, her voice called and beaconed all these people. And we saw that Bonfire Annie and a whole bunch of the Touched just showed up on their doorstep. So it's kind of a sad ending, but it did work. So there's that. I mean, hopefully she would have liked to leave with her life, but she didn't. But Bonfire Annie is there with a lot of people. So it does confirm the idea that most of the Touched are women. And there were a couple of men in the background, but it's mostly women here. So we also found out that obviously with people being different, there was a lot of hate and even torture and killings of the Touched. This one woman even killed her own daughter. It was super sad. So yeah, they need to, stick together and I guess create their own society. But Mary brought up a great thing before she died, and it was, what is the plan here? What is the actual True and Penance plan for what they're going to be doing? They're still learning things too. Like they don't know what Lavinia's up to. Lavinia's lobotomizing people down under the earth with that big ship, the Touched ship, or we'll call it the Never ship, which is down in the ground. Don't forget about that. We didn't see it in this episode, but it's still very important. So she's got them working as zombie drone mine workers, I guess, excavating or getting more information on that ship. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they're probably going to talk more about that in the next episode. But from there, who knows where it could go, as True and Penance are still finding things out, and even the Beggar King is still finding things out. It seemed like they were not really aware of each other at all. Lavinia was kind of keeping, what's the phrase for that? Not letting her left hand know what, oh my gosh, this is my right hand. I'm embarrassing myself now. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a good episode, obviously ended on a cliffhanger, but this is what makes good shows. This is what makes good TV. People are going to come back because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to die. So that's not really for all good shows, because this is a good show. And I mean, I guess no, that's going to get too dark. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss as we cover episode 4 next week. We got a ton of shows we're covering too, by the way, and we're always taking suggestions. So let us know in the comments below, and we'll check out some stuff. We already like the same TV shows, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I already said that. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks, guys, for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.